Hi, I'm Tyler, and welcome to another episode of my Christian Meet the Week reviews. Each week I take 5 releases, be it LTVs or singles, and after I listen to them all week, I come back here and I review them and share what I think about them. So without further ado, let's get to this week's first release, Pat Barrett's new album, Shelter. Pat Barrett's new album, Shelter. Let's dive into it. So, pretty good album here. Stylistically, definitely a worship sound that incorporates first and foremost alternative and contemporary elements, but also we have some folk influence and hints of country and pop influences as well here. Mostly on the ballad side, but a few upbeat moments as well here. And as for the lyrics here, pretty good lyrics here. I like how Pat expresses on the sound his trust in God's faithfulness in all seasons of life, the good ones and the bad. And as for the lyrics here, Pat talks about how even in hard circumstances, we can gratefully, peacefully surrender our trust to the Lord God to, in His love, through Jesus' saving sacrificial blood on the cross that saved us from sin, to faithfully be with us, to protect us, provide us with strength to reflect that love, and be sovereign over the hard circumstances to guide us into a good future. Up next, CAIN's new album, Jesus Music. CAIN's new album, Jesus Music. Let's dive into it. So, pretty good album here. Stylistically, pretty good sound here, being a mixture of country, contemporary, pop rock. I like the pop rock influence in particular here on the sound. Kind of makes CAIN sound upbeat here. And also some country pop influence as well. Mostly on the upbeat side, but some nice ballad moments here as well. And as for the lyrics here, pretty good lyrics here as well. CAIN talks about how Jesus, in his unconditional love and grace, through his sacrifice on the cross, changed them free from an unsatisfying, sinful past to live a satisfying new life where in times of trouble they fearlessly trust their hope in Him to faithfully be with them, to protect them and give them strength to rise above the trouble, to reflect His love. Up next, One Day's new double single, Steppin' in the Light. One Day's new double single, Steppin' in the Light, featuring two new singles, Steppin' and In the Light. See what she did there? I kind of like how she blended the two singles into a double single title. Kind of cool to see. And pretty good double single here as well. Stylistically, both songs are definitely on the electronic hip-hop side of things, with Steppin' being a little harder hitting than In the Light. In the Light retains the electronic hip-hop while inserting some pop influence as well. Actually, In the Light kind of reminds me of Group 1 Crew a little bit, stylistically. Particularly the Fearless album. Vocally here, One Day raps on both songs and sings on In the Light. And as for the lyrics here, pretty good lyrics here. Really takes a look at the blessed new life that God has given us. And as for the lyrics here, One Day talks about how God is blessing her by freeing her from sin into a good new life where she puts her faith in God to faithfully be with her, to guide her in living her purpose of reflecting His holiness. Up next, Faithful's new EP, Great Things. The new Faithful EP, Great Things. Let's dive into it. Before I do, let me just talk about who's all on this thing. So on this EP, we have appearances from artists like J.J. Howler, Jillian Edwards, Janice Gaines, Just Ray, Mission House, Sarah McIntosh, Savannah Locke, Leslie Jordan, Rachel Lampa, Sarah Kroger, and Tamar Chip. Now that I explained who's all on this thing, let's dive into how the EP itself is. So, pretty good EP here. Stylistically, definitely a contemporary worship EP that contains folk and country elements. Mostly on the ballad side of things, I would say. Take Off Running, though, is kind of upbeat, I have to say. And as for the lyrics here, love the lyrics here. Faithful talks about joyfully praising the Lord God for how in his love, through Jesus' sacrifice, he has redeemed us from being sinful and fearful misfits to allow us to come to him as his children, to be satisfied by his love that unites us, to reflect it, even in hard times where we now trust him to protect us and guide us to growth. Up next, our last release for today, Sarah J. Mary's debut single, Got a Breakthrough. So before I dive into Sarah J. Mary's debut original single, Got a Breakthrough, let me just thank Jake for requesting me this single. And now that I thank Jake for requesting this single and explain that it's a debut, let's dive into the song itself here. So, pretty good debut single here. Stylistically, definitely a contemporary worship ballad. And in addition to sounding good, the lyrics are pretty good too. And actually, I kind of connect with the lyrics, I have to say. Sarah J. Mary talks about how, in her weakness, she'll surrender her life to fearlessly wait on the Lord God and trust that he will give her strength and bring the breakthrough. Well, that's it for this week. Come back next week for 5 more releases. If you like what's on this video, please subscribe. I put out videos every Friday at 9:30 a.m. Pacific time. Also, if you have any thoughts on today's releases or what I may have said about them, let me know that in the comments below. Also, in the comments, you can let me know if there's any awesome releases that came out today that you want to see in next week's video. Also, check out the playlist section for our Mute Most Dreams playlist, available here on YouTube and also on Spotify. And this month's edition of the playlist includes songs from artists like John Keefe, Indie Tribe, Aaron Cole, and others. So go and check that out if you're interested. Well, go now. See you next week. Bye!